Hello, my name is Richard, and this is the second video I'll be making on the game Genesis. So I'm going to quickly walk you through my planning, like I did last time. I was creating cards on Trello, creating a checklist on the larger tasks on Trello to break them down a bit. So for instance on influence mapping, last time I had done up to maths for propagating, and later on I realised I needed some extra functions inside that logic, so I went back and I added these in, moved them back to the doing pile, and got back on it. I also color coded each of the tasks depending on how well they were sort of thought out and the role they'd be playing. For instance, I knew I wanted all the green ones to make it into the video. The yellow ones, however, I hadn't put a lot of thought into yet because I wasn't sure if I was going to evolve the ideas enough to make it into the video, and I hadn't thought about how I'd break down the tasks too much. However, I did manage to get one of them done. The orange ones have been mostly something like a framework change or a refactor, something I needed to go back, overlook, and evaluate. For instance, optimization. Probably going to keep that there throughout because I'll always have little things to go in and add to the checklist, especially in the future. The red ones are the features I hadn't really put a lot of thought into, but liked as an idea. For instance, the buildings, I realised I'd probably have to have my own meshes, and I wasn't quite sure how I would go about structuring that, so I didn't put too much thought into it. I didn't decide to break them down into tasks. And the soldiers, I thought the drones could do a good enough job at being soldiers for now. Anyway, I'll get into the game then. Okay, so let's get into the game. I'm going to click play, and then when I click start here, we spawn in with a block and a queen. The queen will seek out the block in order to build a nest, and we can see the block's influence map trail like so. Notice that the FPS isn't very great, but she'll be spawning a drone, and it'll cost 50 nest food at a time. Then I can place down some more food for the drones, as so. And then they will run back and forth in between the queen and the food block. Now, as you can tell already, the optimization is pretty necessary at this point because the FPS is so low, and that's just simply because of the amount of things that have to be being calculated at the same time without a lot of optimization. There is some optimization, but it needs a lot more. I'm going to show you the tech tree. Now, the tech tree is sort of like your win condition. You can upgrade the legs, which increases the movement speed of the drones. You can increase their carrying capacity, or you can transcend, which is the win condition. I'll go ahead and give myself 140 Evo points. Oh, or 140,000. 140 Evo points, and I'll show you guys what it's like with them. So, just going to click start. So, before we saw the drones bringing back and forth 5 food at a time. This time when I place the food in the level, let's bring the marker up, place it down. We will see them bring 10 at a time back. Can also increase their movement speed, as so. And although it might be difficult to tell, they are slightly faster now, especially with the FPS being the way it is. So I'll just go ahead and win the game. Transcendence achieved. The idea is that you will have to collect and build the nest of food, and then you have to get enough Evo points, which you get each time that you spawn a new new drone. But there'll also be problems such as a lifetime cycle and enemy spawning, and all these things you'll have to manage about your nest to keep it going. Also, I'm going to show you that once the queen has built the nest, God, FPS wasn't this bad earlier. Once the queen has built the nest, she also gives off her own scent trail for the creatures to follow, which can also, again, be toggled. So as I mentioned, optimization is sort of the key thing I'm focusing on right now in the upcoming future for this project, as it's very difficult to test anything and to genuinely play the game with the FPS and with the problem it's at right now. There's two influence maps calculating and one rendering, which can be turned on and off. This seems to be this seems to be sort of an okay FPS when I'm not recording. It's a lot worse when I am recording, and when I'm actively doing 3 calculations for 3 different influence maps at the same time, that's when the FPS starts to become unmanageable, even when I'm not recording. So yeah, I've got the one for food, and I've got the one I showed you for queen. But also, if I go into the game, click start, you'll probably notice that there's the sea enemy trail, and that's the one that the drones will follow to attack the drone, and the drone will be following the queen trail to get to the queen in the nest. And it'll be the drone's job to attack the enemy before it reaches the nest at the cost of their own lives. This is something that I've actually partially implemented already, and I can sort of add in while sacrificing other areas. It's all ready to be added in, and after the optimization it can be properly tested. But right now I can't run them all at the same time without it becoming without it becoming a complete FPS slog, and it's impossible to tell what's going on at all, and it's not really very fun. So in the future you can expect the optimizations, but also I want to make a note that at the moment I've only got 3 tech upgrades. That's because I kind of got stumped for ideas. In the future, if I come up with some new ones, probably add them in, or if anyone's got an idea, just drop it in the comments, and I'll that very well might end up in the upcoming game. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you want to know anything about the game or how it was made, or you want to get my details or find out details about the project, check out the description. And apart from that, thank you guys, and see you later.